Yes.
This could happen to you. The driver of this black car, or what's left of it, was texting while driving. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, last year 500,000 people were injured and 6,000 people were killed in crashes related to distracted drivers. And according to Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, the #1 cause of distraction among drivers is cell phones, including text messaging. This is something that too many people are at risk because of. It's a danger for everyone on the road every single day while they're driving. And that is why I think that the federal government needs to ban this. In most states it is still legal, but obviously it's an extremely dangerous practice for everyone regardless of where you live. So I think that this is something that should not be up for debate among the states. The federal government needs to take the initiative to ban this as soon as possible. Today I'm going to talk to you about 3 aspects as to why I think the federal government needs to act to ban this practice across the United States. I'm going to talk to you about the dangers of texting while driving. I'm going to give you a reference and compare it a little bit to DUI. And I'm also going to talk to you about the number of states that currently implement a ban on texting while driving. Now, why is texting while driving so dangerous? According to a Clemson University study, drivers who text while driving are 10% more likely to leave their lane. And according to a study done by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, truck drivers who text message while driving have a 23-time higher risk of crash than non-distracted drivers. Now, in a recent survey done by AAA, 20% of drivers admit to texting while driving. And with approximately 200 million drivers on the road, and licensed drivers in the United States, that 20% is an awfully lot of potentially dangerous and life-threatening people. Now, speaking of dangerous, I'm sure we all know the dangers of DUI. We all know how tragic it can be. Well, how does it compare to texting while driving? In a recent study done by Car and Driver, they tested the reaction times for 2 drivers at 2 different speeds while reading a text message, while sending a text message, and while driving legally impaired over the 0.08 BAC limit for alcohol. Now, looking at this chart, these are the additional distance traveled as compared to, for both drivers at both speeds, as compared to when they were not distracted and not legally impaired by alcohol. And what you can see is that these are the worst results, but for both drivers at both speeds, their reaction times were actually worse while text messaging than while over the BAC limit of 0.08. A similar study was done by Britain's Transport Research Lab, and they found similar results. According to their study, drivers over the 0.08 BAC limit have a 12% reduction in reactions. Drivers under the influence of marijuana saw a 21% reduction in their reaction time. And drivers who text message while driving, their reaction times were lowered by 35%. This is a map I've put together of the states currently banning text message while driving. All the states with an X are currently the ones that implement the ban. There are currently 19 states, including Maryland, as well as the District of Columbia and Guam, which currently impose a ban on text messaging while driving. Now, when I look at this map, I see far too much white and not enough X's. I mean, some people may disagree with me. They say, well, I'm not in danger, it won't happen to me. Well, referring back to that AAA survey where 20% of drivers admitted to texting while driving, 87% of those people admitted that it was a serious threat to their safety. So, as you can see, people know it's wrong, and yet they continue to do it. That is why the federal government needs to step in and ban this practice. Now, today I have talked to you a little bit, I've told you about the dangers of text messaging while driving. I've showed that in some instances it is even more dangerous than DUI. And I have also showed you that relatively few states currently ban it already. Now, in my opinion, Pennsylvania State Senator Joe Markusek, sponsor of a bill to ban texting while driving in Pennsylvania, put it best when he said, "We are all one text message from eternity." Now, our government does an excellent job. They've done an excellent job of cracking down on DUI and driving while intoxicated. And yet, in most states, it is still legal to drive while intoxicated. Now, I urge you, next time you're in the car and you think you have to respond immediately to your boyfriend's text message, or your mom, ask her what's for dinner, I urge you to think twice about that decision. And I also encourage every one of you to contact your local congressman and get the federal government to ban this practice across the United States. Thank you.